Hey guys, this is Eric and I'm the SEO dude. In this video, I'm going to talk about the long-term nature of SEO. So if you find yourself looking for an SEO service where you're hoping for, overnight results with explosive traffic gains, this is probably not the right service for you. Or you may need to adjust your expectations. The reason is because in my experience, that is not how SEO works. And, although I had a solid amount of SEO success, it was never something that just happened overnight. It took time and effort to build it up. So the rewards can be had. For me, it took a substantial amount of effort and ongoing, contribution of my time and resources. I like to think of a fruit tree when I try to come up with an analogy for SEO and the effort that it takes. So in the very beginning, you're putting the time and effort, the nutrients into this seedling, and you're not seeing any fruit from the tree, but you're putting in the effort. And it's not until later on that the tree finally starts to offer fruit and offer kind of a reward for this work that you put in. And that's how I think of SEO. After you've laid the groundwork and continually given it nutrients, your time, your effort, that's when you start to see fruit. One of the beautiful things about SEO is that at least for me, once I established that groundwork, that didn't just disappear overnight. It's almost like that base was formed and any SEO work I did on top of that simply grew my fruit tree to offer more fruit. And so in other words, kind of like the amount of effort or resources that I put in could be sustained, on an even level year over year, but yet the amount of fruit that I reap from the tree each year is bigger and bigger. And so I made this little graph that shows what I'm talking about. So this is the example of a fruit tree, but really I'm talking about SEO here. And imagine, this orange line is how much time you put in. And I just picked some arbitrary numbers just for the sake of demonstrating the point. But imagine you put in 100 hours a year, okay? And I'm going to use the fruit tree example. So in the first year, this blue line represents how much fruit you got from the tree. In the first year, you don't get any fruit from the tree. In the second year, just as an arbitrary example, imagine you got 50 apples from this fruit tree. Then by the next year, you get more apples and more apples. So notice basically the general idea is that the amount of benefit that you get from your effort grows over time. And yet the amount of effort you put in could be the same year over year. And that's what I like about SEO is that the work you did in the past doesn't just disappear. It's like it grows these really thick roots. And the more you water it, the more nutrients you put into it, the thicker and more robust those roots get. And that's one of the things I love about SEO. So it really could reward the people who have perseverance, who keep sticking to it and dedicating resources to it. The roots for the car parts website that I did the SEO work for, those are so strong that I'm no longer even watering the tree anymore. I haven't done any SEO work for that website for the last several years, and it still offers fruit in the form of, revenues on an ongoing basis. So at this point, going back to this graph, my hour count, my orange line is down to 0, and yet the fruit keeps coming out. Now the fruit count isn't growing from year to year anymore, but it's still fruiting every year. And I think that's why for those who are willing to put in the long-term effort and not get deterred from, a lack of short-term results, the benefit could be immense. So that's why I consider SEO a long-term game. If you have any questions about this, you can email me anytime. My email address is eric, ERIC, @seodude.com. Thanks, guys.